Hi, I'm Matt, and I'm with Andrew Pickett and Rob, and we're going to be talking about location-based services. So, what is location-based technology? So, location-based technology is any technology that uses real-time location tracking to function. So, they're most frequently used in mobile devices, and they can be used on any device that can provide a location. It could even be a desktop, and they oftentimes users have to enable this feature on smartphones nowadays because it can be a privacy concern. And this technology is constantly using the user's physical and geographical location to get an update of where they are. So when it was first developed, it was actually first developed in the GPS, the Global Positioning System, which was developed in the 1970s. It was first developed by the United States Department of Defense, and it wasn't made worldwide until the 1980s. And that was actually when Ronald Reagan decided to make it available. And he decided to make it available because there was an accident that happened involving a Korean airliner that was shot down by Soviet fighters because it strayed off course due to navigation errors. So Ronald Reagan saw this as an opportunity for other people and the world to benefit from these location services. And it also allows a GPS receiver to connect to three or more satellites to get a specific position. So how it works. The main devices that communicate with mobile devices are satellites, routers, and cell towers. These include things like GPS, RFID, and Wi-Fi. These provide specific locations. And precise locations can be triangulated due to the cell phone pings. So mobile devices communicate with other devices and hubs to function. So this communication allows for a specific location to be tracked. So if someone is making a call or something, it'll ping off a cellular tower or or a satellite, and then it'll triangulate that location and pinpoint it. These are just some apps that are used often nowadays with location-based services. So things like Waze, Snapchat, Google Maps, Uber, and Facebook. So Andrew's going to go into more detail about these individual apps and what they have to do with location-based services.
So, Waze is a GPS traffic app. It uses the user's data to plan faster alternative routes for the best time to leave for like a quicker navigation. And the difference between this and Google Maps is because Waze uses like your location, uh, and it's like a community-driven design. So all the roads get updated faster, and so all the individual users are allowed to report like traffic alerts, officers on the road, speed traps, accidents, and stuff like that. Next one is Uber and Uber Eats. It's a pickup drop off service. It's just like a taxi, but the difference is that uh, it uses location based services and it tracks where you are, finds the nearest drivers around you, and it also uses some called trip histories, which is just like your receipts to resolve any tickets or anything. And although location-based services isn't needed for that, it makes your life easier because the routers would have to put the location in manual for the driver. Snapchat. So Snapchat is a popular messaging app. It allows people to exchange photos, videos with each other, and they actually disappear after they're viewed. So location-based services is used in this by having filters, which is just some you put over a picture that it's unique to like the location that the user is in, and also the Snap Map, which allows the user to see where their friends are in the world at all times.
So I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of location-based services. And the first pro would be store locators. And this helps if you need to look up a certain store. You can search it, and the address is usually right underneath of the store name, and you can get directions using GPS. Travel information. This goes along with the store locator. You can research areas that you're not familiar with and find out things before you go. And along with this is roadside assistance. If you need help, usually the tow service can get to you by tracking your phone or using GPS. The next one is fraud prevention. This helps because if your credit card gets stolen, then the credit card company can usually locate where money is being spent, and they can cancel it if they know it's not you spending the money. And the last pro would be emergency services, and this is for police officers or paramedics to track your location using LBS, and they can usually track it right to the phone during the phone call. Some cons that come with this, the first one would be like stalking, assault, or robbery, because criminals are able to follow their every move based on location and data provided through their phone. And this happens a lot because some people aren't aware that these services are on and broadcasting this information. Something else that comes with LBS, there was a case where people tried to accuse someone of a crime because they tried placing him in a different location than he actually was. And the next point is illegally disclosing data. This would be if a company with your information released it to someone else without your consent. And then that goes along with privacy and keeping your information and not giving it to the public. So why LBS is important for business? It has proximity-based marketing. So when you're in a certain area, it can send different advertisements to people's phones. And then it works because there's a notification on arrival for customers in certain restaurants, so you know right when they get there so they can get seated right away. And it has mobile workforce management, which keeps track of schedule, track, and monitor for different companies to make sure that everyone's on the job and working. So for the future of location-based services, something that is expected is driverless cars. There's machine-to-machine communication, which doesn't include any human interaction, and then some immediate notifications through LBS for rescue operations and disaster management, just to get help sooner to those locations. These are our sources. Thank you.